Thanks to CuriosityStream for sponsoring this video. Get access to my streaming video service Nebula, where you can see the exclusive lyric video for my next single, Ride With You, when you sign up for CuriosityStream using the link in the description. I acquired this Ernie Ball Music Man St. Vincent signature in November 2017. Time has flown by, a lot has changed since getting my hands on this guitar, and I know I've featured it a little bit, but I've never spoken about why I bought it and why it's so special to me. I would be surprised if you haven't heard of St. Vincent, which is Annie Clark's stage name because her career has gone rather mainstream and she's now got, 2 Grammys under her belt? And she's an awesome musician, producer, songwriter, guitarist, and filmmaker. This limited edition version of her signature guitar commemorates the release of her 5th solo record and still most recent studio album, Mass Seduction. Fingers crossed for new music post-lockdown. This neon orange with a leopard print pickguard version was one of 4 crazy colours released, and only 3 of each colour were made available to the public. Then only 1 of each was actually made available in Europe, where I am. Luckily, at the time, one of my good friends worked at the guitar store that ordered this particular model in, and as soon as I found out, I knew I had to have it. I had been thinking about one of the standard issue colours for quite some time, but I'm glad I got an exclusive model. St. Vincent is a role model to me. I admire her work ethic. She has toured relentlessly for over a decade, collaborated with David Byrne, Carrie Brownstein, and Jack Antonoff. Her music is phenomenal, eclectic, and unique. And when this guitar was launched, it was incredibly well received by the industry. And I mean, if Jack White chooses to play your guitar on TV, then you know you kind of nailed it. So the finish, I know it won't be everybody's cup of tea, but I've never exactly gone for conventional guitars. And yeah, it's bright, and sadly the pickguard isn't actually fur. I know you'll be disappointed, but it does always just get a crazy reaction. Music Man even described this particular model as the most outlandish guitar in their catalogue, as well as being a collector's piece. So, if you want to know why I wear black so much, well, I mean, when I'm holding a guitar like this, I don't need any help standing out, and also I don't want to cause too many colour clashes on stage or in videos. A few of my Patreon supporters have asked me about the body shape. Firstly, Marcelo asked if it rests firmly on the guitar stand. Well, it depends what type of guitar stand, because yeah, you need to choose carefully. It doesn't feel very secure on the A-frame kind, but is fine in a multi-guitar stand. Robert asked, after all the time that you've owned this guitar, has the body shape still remained comfortable? Well, it's as comfortable as you need a guitar to be. It works sat down too, it doesn't slip, and I know that initially there were reports that St. Vincent had designed this specifically for women. However, Core 77 featured a great article, which I've linked below, about how this was slightly blown out of proportion. Sterling Ball confirmed that it didn't influence the design process as much as it was publicised. As a guitar player who happens to be a woman, I am often asked what it will take to get more women to pick up the guitar. Firstly, I can't speak for all women, just like I can't speak for all guitar players. All I know is that I personally do not need to be specifically marketed to because of being a woman. Also, there has been mention that it's really light. The African mahogany body is not as light as you would expect and is only slightly lighter than my Vigier GV Rock and actually heavier than my Silver Sky at 7 pounds. So, Thomas asked if the shape causes neck diving, and to be honest, it does a little bit, especially with a slippery, translucent guitar strap. Yep. I'm also sad Ernie Ball never mass-produced these too. I think it's awesome. And I think it was a request from Annie Clark to have these made, and I was gifted one by Ernie Ball. It's also a shame that on this model, the stunning roasted maple neck that you see on other versions is hidden behind orange paint. Ted asked an interesting question. Can you comment on how the body shape influences the sound you can produce? Well, I'm not entirely sure the body shape influences the sound, although it influences me by making me feel like a total badass while I'm holding it. But the 3 Damasio mini humbuckers might have something to do with it. However, this is not a main guitar for me. Signature guitars can be tricky that way because they're designed for one person in mind. And let's be honest, although I would love to make music like St. Vincent, we are totally different songwriters and have different styles of playing. The stuff I love playing on this particular guitar is like spanky guitar solos and then also washed out shoegazy stuff. It also lends itself to fuzz, and actually after saying all that, my next single is probably the closest I've ever gotten to sounding like St. Vincent. Produced by Rachel K. Collier, Ride With You has a fun fuzz solo at the end of it, so maybe I'm evolving. Mike asked about the pickup positions. Well, it's a 5-way switch with custom wired electronics, and to me, none of the tones you get out of this guitar are particularly warm. I'd say it's a machine to cut through your mix, especially if your track is synth heavy with programmed drums. Kelby asked what surprised you about the guitar. Well, the biggest surprise was discovering the backplate is signed. Then Lauren asked if I find it intimidating to play. Well, I don't find it intimidating, but it isn't something I want to play all the time. It was a collector's piece, but I still love it, and it's proven so useful for the studio, recording extra guitar parts. A few other specs. It has a custom inlaid ebony fingerboard, 22 stainless steel frets, its scale length is 25.5 and the radius is 10 inches. It also has the super smooth modern Music Man tremolo with vintage bent steel saddles and Shala locking tuners. Finally, Rob asked, out of all the guitars I've played, what is it closest to? Other than the neck being familiar to other Music Man models I've played, I'd like to say it's rather unique. Okay, there we go, an overview of my St. Vincent signature. Now I'm excited to have created an exclusive lyric video for the song I mentioned, Ride With You, over on Nebula. I've recently joined this incredible platform created by creators you might know, where we don't need to worry about demonetization, copyright strikes, or the algorithm. And we're so lucky to be partnering with CuriosityStream. This is giving us the flexibility to create ad-free videos and also experiment with different kinds of content. Nebula features a lot of YouTube's top educational music creators. You might have heard of Adam Neely, Polyphonic, 12-Tone, and Charles Cornell. So if you aren't already aware, CuriosityStream is the best place on the internet to see thousands of the world's finest documentaries and non-fiction titles and exclusive series they've produced. And they obviously love educating and therefore love educational creators. We worked out a deal that if you sign up for CuriosityStream with the link in the description, you'll also get a Nebula subscription for free. And just to give you a little more information, that Nebula subscription isn't a trial. It's free for as long as you're a CuriosityStream member, and for a limited time only, CuriosityStream is offering 26% off their annual plans. That's less than $15 a year for CuriosityStream and Nebula. As you've got to be inside, and when you're not practicing your guitar, why not watch the mini-series Curious Minds? Paul Reed-Smith, founder and owner of PRS Guitars, talks about some of the greatest guitars he's played and his personal favourite. It's a cool insight, so I thoroughly recommend it. If you click on the link in the description or go to curiositystream.com/Mary Spender, it helps me and my fellow creators keep producing informative content. So, what do you think of the St. Vincent signature and all its different incarnations? Do you own one yourself? Be sure to tell me more in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and of course, thanks to my Patreon supporters for writing in questions. But otherwise, I'll see you very soon.
I feel it slipping, time falling through my hands. Started off as pebbles, now it's grains